Sure. My name is Belle Baldoza, and I am the Director of Brand and Field Marketing at Voices, and we are the world's most trusted voice solutions provider.
So what caught my attention yesterday was you were talking about Voices. Now you've only been with the company for 10 months, but Voices has been around for how long?
Voices has been around for 20 years and counting. It's been around since 2005.
And AI wasn't a part of the beginning of it?
100%.
What was Voices about in the beginning?
Everything started by with championing the power of the human voice. So for over the last 20 years, we have connected the world's biggest brands and agency teams with the right voices. So whether it's for their ad campaigns, their podcasts, their promotional material. So we started out as a voiceover marketplace, and then we saw great growth opportunity in the world of AI.
Yeah, what was that disruption like? Like when was that? And then how did it shift? Are you still doing some of the older stuff, or is it now completely on AI?
So we started out seeing the uptick among our customers when it comes to their needs for voice data and AI voice. So we saw that in the last couple of years, we've seen that demand grow, and so that really led to us evolving as a voice solutions platform across 3 lines of business. So apart from our traditional voiceover offering, we're now also offering voice data and AI voice.
Let's talk about that. So a company comes in, what's the typical situation? Are they looking for customer service? They're looking for something to be a little bit more human, but yet still something they can leverage AI to create?
Yeah.
What does a typical situation look like?
Yeah, a typical solution. So there's not a one size fits all typically, for a brief. And so what happens is that we do get pretty much a request. And what we do is respond to the brief as we think best. And so that being said, right now we're getting whether it's a voice data brief or a branded AI voice brief or even a traditional voiceover brief, what we are really committed to doing is making sure that we understand the brief and design the project to the client specifications. And so if it doesn't, we are also seeing, for example, people actually wanting to understand more when to use an AI voice versus a human voice. And so we also provide that level of expertise because we've been in this business over the last 20 years. We know when an AI voice would work best, but also where a traditional voiceover would be more impactful.
And what is your favorite piece? What drew you to Voices?
Yeah, what drew me to Voices personally was I personally believe and have championed the power of the human voice. I was a DJ on radio back in my university days. Yes, I was a rock radio DJ, and so since then I was also taking on freelance voiceover projects as I was growing my career in PR and marketing. And so even as a young person, I already understood the power of the human voice, not only in basically driving outcomes and storytelling, defining a brand's voice. So,
is there something about voices in general, like a certain tone or something that impacts, as a company that's focused on voices, do you look for certain things that calm the situation or make people draw them in more, the enthusiasm behind a voice?
Yeah, so that's a really great question because even as we branch out in the 3 areas across our lines of business, voiceover, voice data, and AI voice, what's really remained the same is actually that there is nothing that can replace a human voice with its own nuances, its own quirks, and especially in industries like customer service, healthcare. These are very high-touch industries, e-learning, education, and it's not just important that a voice sounds real, but actually it's more important how this voice makes you feel.
I love that. What is something that most people might not know about Voices?
Why some people, actually the one thing is people are actually so drawn to they've been asking about our domain and how we got it. Because it's such a unique domain.
We get the same thing. That's a great domain name. How did you get it?
Right. Well, we've been existing since 2005, and we got that domain, and it's been amazing because it's done wonders for us. It's very straightforward. It tells people what we do, but what people do not actually recognize is that we've been operating in this space for 20 years. We're not just an AI voice company. We are a total voice solutions platform.